Yo, honestly, I always had like a hustler in me type thing. You know what I mean? My mom used to say like when I was young, I used to like sell my toys and stuff.
Oh,
Like, right? So like, yo, it started there, right? Just like selling toys and all that. But it's just based off of how I grew up, right? My mom never. I grew up in the area Ridgeway, so my mom never had a job or nothing like that. And like, you know what I mean? I understood what it was from like early.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So going through, the struggle with her or whatever, I understood early, like, yo, like, gotta get this money. You know what I mean? Gotta get it. Like, you know what I mean? My step pops too, like he was a hustler, you know what I mean? And so I took some of like the hustle from him too as well. That was kind of like the father figure while he was around, you know what I mean? That made me like get into the mind state of, all right, like I gotta hustle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there was a negative to it too as well, which we'll get into, but yeah.
So yeah, what's it called? When you're dealing with consumers when it comes to the shoe, any issues, pet peeves, things that you had to deal with, like,
And yeah, yo, this
you ever like show up and someone's like, yeah, man, I only got this much on me right now.
yo, the biggest thing, and like, yo, no disrespect to like the D boys and like, my street guys.
Yeah.
They'll ask me for a shoe and I'll get a shoe or whatever the case may be. And, shoe releases are normally on like a Saturday, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of times I wouldn't be seeing a man till like, Sunday or whatever. Cause I used to kind of go around, pick up all my stuff, get organized for the next day.
Yeah.
So during that time, a man would be going to a club that night or whatever, pop 1-2 bottles, whatever. I'm linking him the next day and he's like, yeah, come drop my shoe. I'm going to drop the shoe now and the man's short, right? Because he popped bottles the night before, but now he doesn't have money for me. You know what I mean? And like, that was always one of my pet peeves because it's like, yo, like, I'm bringing, my business to you and I'm dealing with you nicely and like, you're short on the money.
Yeah.
That's one of like my biggest pet peeves. Also just like dudes that, they kind of use me as like a visa. You know what I mean? They'll order. And then they'll be like, yeah, like, I'll hit you. They'll make little like payments. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, that really taught me to have my money up. You know what I mean? But it's also a learning experience for me while I was at it. So catch this. I opened up a line of credit a while back or whatever because this issue kept on happening and I only had so much cash to play with. So once I opened up this line of credit or whatever, I started putting everything on the line of credit and then paying it down as mans would pay me. What I noticed while doing that was that like my line of credit got bigger and I'm building my credit now because I'm making these payments or whatever. And I just like, kind of rinsed and repeat until like the bank eventually was like, yo, we're going to pre-approve you for like an even bigger line of credit.
Yeah.
And at that time,
Did they reach out to you or were you the one to reach out?
so they reached out to me because they seen everything that was going on. And like, I would go to the bank and they'd be like, oh yeah, you're pre-approved for your line of credit to be bigger. Or you're pre-approved for your credit card to be this or whatever. So with that being said, it also got me into like building credit, right? Because even at that time, my credit was bad. I didn't know about credit, didn't understand credit.
When you have no credit, that's basically bad credit.
That's bad credit.
Yeah.
And that followed me like, throughout my life up until I bought a house. I bought property, my first property, and my credit was bad, fam. Like, you know what I mean? Buying this first property.
Yeah.
And it was just due to me not understanding credit. And I was embarrassed because like, here we are like, yo, I'm buying property. And then the realtor's coming back saying, yeah, we got to put you with a B lender because of where your credit situation's at. You know what I mean? But like, I felt nice at the time because I'm like, yo, I got money from shoes. I'm doing my thing, But yo, my credit was bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I use that as motivation to kind of fix my credit up. And so like it worked. Everything, worked out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went into play and worked out.